Hi y'all, I'm Larissa Evans of SoPeace.org, and this video presents information on assembling, writing, and sending requests for SoPeace's Positive Campaigning Project. The Positive Campaigning Project involves requesting politicians and political action committees to commit to avoiding negative advertising. The more of us who participate in this project, the more likely it is to be effective. So I hope you'll join our efforts. Firstly, who to make the request to. I encourage you to follow the negative political ads that you see. I receive most of mine in the mail and by text message. They're required by law to put who created the ad on the ad itself, and sometimes the address might be right there. Other times, it might just take a little bit of digging online, but you can respond to text messages, you can use online forms sometimes, social media, and best of all, if you get the opportunity, in person. Even if you just send a couple requests, that's something. That's making a difference. A benchmark I like to use is to send one request to each entity putting out a negative ad in every political season, including the primaries and the local elections. So that's twice a year, in the spring and the fall, or the late winter, late summer. It's important that this project remain nonpartisan, so please do your best to balance it out somewhat amongst the political parties. Secondly, in what circumstances to send them. You could do it bit by bit as the ads come in. You could do it in one fell swoop each season, each year, whatever works for you. I made an Excel spreadsheet this season that had the organizations, their addresses, and what political party they represent. And then I picked an evening in early September and sent all the letters at that time. You could do it individually or together in a group, as long as you're doing that alongside each other and everybody is still making individual requests. You could do it as a family, and children as young as 6 could be invited to participate, so long as they have the agency in making that choice in generally what they're saying and how or whether to identify themselves. You could also do it in a group of friends or any type of community and just enjoy some fun food and drinks and doing a meaningful, productive activity together. Thirdly, what specifically to say in the requests. Now, this is highly personal. You could make individual requests, or you could make a general request that you copy. You could keep it shorter and more simple, or you could make it longer and more personal. You could choose to identify yourself or not, and what contact information, if any, to send. Importantly, the requests themselves should not be negative. One of the popular words in the groupthink right now is demand. We demand you to do this. That rage is understandable. However, we need to take a step back, make sure we're approaching this in a healthy way. I'm a therapist trained in relationships, and so one of my roles is to help people identify and express their needs in a constructive manner. And when we come at it from a demanding perspective, the other side shuts down or becomes defensive. So that's something to really think about when you're making these requests. One of the therapy methods that I use is dialectical behavioral. There's a skill in that therapy called Dear Man. And there are 3 elements I want to highlight: stating facts, expressing feelings, and making an explicit request. Something like this: I noticed your ad. It hurt my heart. Please consider reducing negative ads such as this. Something like that. You might be wondering, will anybody actually read these requests if I send them? To that I answer this: every thought, every intention, every action has a reaction and a ripple effect. even if we don't immediately perceive those effects. Finally, if you are sending your requests by mail online, we have stickers that you can purchase. I like to put them in the return address area, the back of the envelope, and near the signature line. We also have promo cards. The stickers themselves are not cheap, especially. However, it's really nice and effective to enforce the message with a visual. I also like to use patriotic stamps, especially those freedom ones that are available right now, because that really emphasizes what we're talking about. We're talking about identifying and expressing our needs and using our voices to request our needs to be met. When we act together like this, we strive toward the harmony that we all long for deep down inside, that we all need, and that we're ready for.